have to talk about the Houston Rockets, who are currently down 0-3 against the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round. And it's the definition of what can go wrong, will go wrong. From injuries with this team, dumb turnovers, and dumb fouls. You name it, it has happened to the Houston Rockets in the last 3 games against the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, in game 1, they had the excuse, no Kevin Durant. He was out dealing with a knee injury. But at the same time here, the Lakers, they're not fully healthy either. Luka, he's out with a hamstring injury. Austin Reeves, he's still out dealing with an abdominal injury. So you're hoping that your young players can step up while Kevin Durant is out, like Reed Sheppard, Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith, Ahmed Thompson. But obviously that wasn't the case because they lost game 1, 107-98, and it's how they lost that game. You have a 41-year-old LeBron James that is dicing up this defense. He had 13 assists, 8 rebounds, 19 points. They could not stop Luke Kennard. The way that JJ Redick is using him right now on the offensive end, I'll give him a lot of credit. It's phenomenal. With the Atlanta Hawks, they use him as a corner shooter. You get the basketball, you shoot it. But with the Lakers here, they're moving him around. And they're also running a lot of plays with the ball in Luke Kennard's hand, and the same with Marcus Smart. They have key playmakers offensively that the Houston Rockets just don't have. And the way that JJ Redick is out-coaching Ime Udoka is a damn shame. With the fact that Ime Udoka has been to the NBA Finals with the Boston Celtics a few years ago. But in game 1, the Rockets shoot 38% from the field, 33% from 3. Luke Kennard having the 27 points. They also got dominated by DeAndre Ayton inside the paint. He had 19 points, 11 rebounds, and he played great defense on Sengun. Jabari Smith, 5 of 14, 16 points. Sengun, 19 points, 6 of 19 from the field. Reed Sheppard, who's a lottery pick, a top 3 pick, 17 points, 6 of 20 from the field, 5 of 14 from 3. And he was terrible defensively. He's a definition of a cone on the defensive end. He can't stop anyone. His main assignment was to go out there and to guard Luke Kennard on the perimeter. And he allowed 27 points. Whenever they see Reed Sheppard on the court, they're going to put him into action every single time. They're going to pick on him. That's why in game 2, he only played 11 minutes. They didn't even start him in game 2. They went with Josh Okogie. But now you have KD back in the lineup. And KD in the first half, he was frying the defense of the Los Angeles Lakers. He had 20 points, 6 of 7 from the field, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. He did have 3 fouls, but it's KD. He's going to have some touch and go moments here and there, and that's okay. The 4 turnovers, that's terrible, but it's Kevin Durant. We all know that he struggles against a double team. That was the case last year with the Phoenix Suns. They did not have a true point guard. You had Devin Booker, he can bring the ball to the court, and the same with Bradley Beal. You put multiple bodies on KD, he panics. In my video 3 days ago, when I said that Kevin Durant is not a true number 1 option, he's not. When I mean a number 1 option, Michael Jordan, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, those type of players that can go out there, set their teammates up, and they can handle certain defensive pressures. Kevin Durant just can't. And it's not me saying that he's a bad basketball player. That's a foolish take. He is still an all-time great on the offensive end. But he needs a point guard that can help structure this offense and that can get him the basketball on a consistent basis and make his life easier. After scoring 20 points in the first half in game 2, he only had 3 points in the second half and had 5 turnovers in the third and the fourth quarter. They put so much pressure on him. And when you have inconsistent players like Sengun and Reed Sheppard and Jabari Smith and Ahmed Thompson, he can't shoot the basketball, you're going to start to see the weaknesses in Kevin Durant's game. So this is not all on KD. But at the same time here, this is why you moved on from Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks and a bunch of first round and a bunch of second round picks, last year in the offseason to help out your half court offense. And yet your half court offense statistically has gotten worse with Kevin Durant on the court, and especially without KD being able to play. But the fact that you lost game 2, that was also very disheartening. You lost that game 94-101 after having that explosive first half with KD. They shot 40% from the field, 24% from 3. That's not going to get it done. And the 3-point percentage has gotten worse in every single game so far with the Houston Rockets. And there's a lot of expectation here with Reed Sheppard. I know this is just his second season. But you're supposed to be further along here. Look at how the other players are playing in that draft class. And this is a Rockets team. They don't have the timeline to go out there and wait for Reece Sheppard to become great over the next 2 to 3 years. They're ready to contend and possibly win a championship right now. That's why you bring in Kevin Durant. But in game 3, it's a damn shame that they lost this game. They had this game won. At halftime, the Lakers were up 63-52. And look at this clip right here. The Houston Rockets are up 101-98. The last 2 minutes of this game, the Houston Rockets, they're up. And I know that I'm dogging Reece Sheppard a lot right now. He was hitting some clutch shots late in the fourth quarter to help out the Houston Rockets. But he has this costly turnover by LeBron James. All you had to do, just bring the ball up the court to Alperen Sengun. Now, he does miss a lot of free throws. But if he makes one of those free throws, it's still a 2-possession game. You're up by 4 points. But you get the ball to Sengun. Instead, LeBron James, he pressures him, comes out of nowhere from behind, tips the ball out. It's a turnover. Get the ball back to LeBron. He hits the 3. Now they go into overtime. And Marcus Smart changed this game in OT. Hustling and getting steals for loose balls. Playing great defense on Reece Sheppard. Switching over in key situations, playing the passing lane. And this is not a video to just say, LeBron James is still one of the greatest players of all time. I still think highly of LeBron James. But look at this right now with the Houston Rockets. They can't stop this man in key situations, and the same with Marcus Smart. I feel like I'm watching LeBron James back in 2012, and I'm watching Marcus Smart back to his days with the Boston Celtics. Marcus Smart had 21 points, 4 rebounds, and 10 assists in game 3. And he had 5 steals. The 3 turnovers were not costly here, but the turnover with Reece Sheppard, it crushed him. And Jabari Smith did have a good game statistically, but the basketball IQ is downright horrendous. They're getting outcoached by JJ Redick, a second-year head coach, by the way. And you just see the veteran presence with LeBron James, Marcus Smart, and the same with DeAndre Ayton. You even have DeAndre Ayton going out there getting timely blocks, setting screens for LeBron. It got nasty in the first half. You have Bronny going up for a lob, catching it from LeBron James. Bronny hitting a timely 3 in the second quarter to stop a run with the Houston Rockets. And there was no Kevin Durant in this game dealing with an ankle injury. This series is over. I had a lot of hope still for the Houston Rockets. I was saying, hey, you're down 0-2, but at least you go back to Houston. The next 2 games, you win those games, you're now in a 2-2 situation. You're down the dreaded 0-3. You're not going to come back and win this series. And imagine if Austin Reeves was fully healthy, and the same with Luka. But something has to change with the Houston Rockets this offseason. You're going to have a lot of people say, move on from Ime Udoka because he doesn't make adjustments on the offensive end. But he did bring the Houston Rockets back to being a contending team in the Western Conference. They were terrible over the last few years before they brought him in. And I still think that he's a solid basketball coach. But you have to bring in the right offensive playmakers. I wish that Fred VanVleet was fully healthy. He went down to torn ACL injury right before the season started. And they should have made a trade to bring in a point guard that could facilitate and set up this offense and that could help get that pressure off of Kevin Durant and that could hit threes. And I get it. They were hoping that Ahmed Thompson or Reece Sheppard could have went out there and developed as a playmaker and develop as guards. That has not been the case. So at the trade deadline, why not go out there and bring in Ayo, who has been a monster so far with the Minnesota Timberwolves in that series against the Denver Nuggets? He just had 27 points last night and had 8 assists. And he's a solid defender. But you say in your hands you didn't do anything. When Ime Udoka has had big-time success in the postseason with the Boston Celtics, they had a clear guard rotation with Drew Holiday and Derek White. I don't see an elite guard on this team outside of Fred VanVleet. And Fred VanVleet, very good basketball player. He played a major role in terms of winning that championship with the Toronto Raptors many years ago when they had Kawhi Leonard, when they matched up against the Golden State Warriors. But looking at Reece Sheppard here, it's never going to work. Ime Udoka preaches defense. Reece Sheppard's just too small. He's listed as 6'2". He's 6 foot. They put him inside the post, it's game over. And it's one of those situations with Reed Sheppard. If you're going to be that terrible defensively, you have to be amazing on the offensive end. With you shooting 30% in game 1, having 17 points, 8 assists. But he also had 5 turnovers, 6 of 20 from the field. In game 2, Ime Udoka didn't even want to play him. Then in game 3, 6 of 21, 28% from the field, 30% from 3, 4 of 13. He's been horrendous in this series. And Reed Sheppard was in the doghouse last year with Ime Udoka. He was more willing to go out there and roll with his veteran Fred VanVleet for basically the entire postseason run when they matched up against the Golden State Warriors in the 7-game series. So you can't use the excuse, well, they don't have playoff experience. These young players have playoff experience based off of last year. But it shows you how important a point guard is in today's NBA. But Ahmed Thompson, he has to get a jump shot. He doesn't have to go out there and shoot 40% from 3 or 35% from 3. But can you shoot 28% from 3, 30% from 3? Because he's a great defender. He's a great athlete, can put a lot of pressure on the rim. He had 28 points in today's game, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 8 of 14 from the field. Alperen Sengun, 33 points, 16 rebounds. You look at the box score here, you'll say they should have won this game, and they should have. Then you have Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith has been a non-factor all season long because of injuries. He's been a DNP coach's decision. But you play him into today's game. 11 minutes, 0 points, 4 rebounds, 0 assists. 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. He was supposed to come in and be this great two-way player. We've seen him work very well playing alongside Luka. He's been a terrible signing so far for the Houston Rockets. I'm just disappointed in this team. The fact that you cannot close out today's game. And you're doing this against a hurt Lakers team. You have LeBron James' son coming off the bench, giving them good minutes. He was a major plus in this game. Make it make sense. They don't have any grit on the defensive end late in games. There's no structure to this offense in the half-court situations, even when you have Fred VanVleet. And you have more shot attempts than the Los Angeles Lakers in every single game this series. You're crushing them on the boards. You're getting the rebounds, but they can't shoot. They can't play make. They don't have an offensive scheme. They don't have an offensive structure. And at the end of the day, that falls down to coaching. So I'll let you guys say this in the comment section below. Should the Houston Rockets move on from Ime Udoka if they get swept? Because how things look right now, if KD cannot play in the next game, it's a good chance they're going to go down 0-4 and the series is over. And I also have this to say about Kevin Durant. I don't know what the hell is going on with the injuries here. It's a huge mystery. In game 1, out of nowhere, he's dealing with this bruise in his knee. He's not able to play. A couple of days later, he's able to play, has a very good game in the first half. And now all of a sudden, he has this ankle injury when he was able to finish out last game. He was playing late in the fourth quarter. He didn't seem hobbled. He was able to go out there and still sprint up and down the court. He's a mid-range assassin. But at least go out there and win one game. I hate to see teams get swept, especially in the first round. You have to win one game here. You're a top 5 seed in the Western Conference for a reason. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you feel about the Houston Rockets? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for the video, guys. God bless. Peace.